Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Full Court Cleveland as we are heavily and fast approaching towards the holidays. Bobby Gibson, Sam Amico, and yours truly, just Rafa, here on the Big Play Studios, always producing Ryan on the other side of the lens. And we have a big show prepared for you. We're going to be talking about Cavs headlines. Obviously, we're going to break them down. We're going to be doing our weekly power rank presented by our friends at Garage Beer. And we're going to take a look at some of the top stories around the association. In this week, Bobby Gibson, the Cavs are on a 5-day hiatus. Yeah. Thank God we didn't make that tournament. First time they had a practice in a long time, probably since the season started. Put it in English terms.
Yes, sir.
To all of us humans that don't practice the game of or don't play the game of basketball at the level you did, what does practice day mean? Forget about the rest. We know what the rest could mean to the guys that are injured. We'll talk about that later. But what does the rest mean?
I'm going to lead with that. I'm going to lead with the rest because you need it. I don't think the fans understand just how much we put our bodies through when you add the travel, when you add the practice, and you add the games. Yeah, it's taxing on the body, and looking at the Cavs roster has been really taxing on the body. So I think that this is perfect timing for us to be able to, reset. And like you said, get into practice. And the tough part about the way the season has been is they haven't been able to practice. And so guys haven't been able to get comfortable in their roles, get comfortable in their spots, and just get up those extra shots and get that extra feeling of confidence. And I always go back to a guy like DG, who's coming off of an injury and just trying to get his rhythm and flow. That practice is where you find it. So I'm glad that the guys didn't make it out there to Vegas, and we got some time to kind of heal up and get ourselves together.
We have talked so much about what the Cavs are doing this season and how last season was kind of like a dream. Not kind of, it was a dream season and spoiled the fan base. And now it's like the Cavs finding themselves at 14-11 as we speak, Sam, losers of 5 of the last 7 games. And also with players banked up like Jarrett Allen, like Sam Merrill, and you can continue on down the list. What's your take on this 5-day break/practice for the Cavs?
Well, I think Booby hit the nail on the head. You get that time. It's almost like another training camp, right?
Yes.
And who could forget last year Doc Rivers was complaining that they made the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup because he's like, everybody else getting time off. We got to keep playing. He's like, we could use some of that time off because it's like a training camp almost. It's a way to reset yourself. So I think that's probably – incredibly beneficial to a team like the Cavs who, like you just said, you've been playing Darius every other game to try to bring him along slowly. That's probably a little bit tough for him to get into a rhythm while he's continuing to fight through this toe stuff. Jarrett Allen's hand, it just gives everybody another whole 5 days to heal and, as Booby said, try to get into a rhythm.
And Booby, I am a supporter of the Emirates Cup. I think the NBA has always tried things, and I, being honest with the audience, is when they find something that is not working, they'll tweak it and fix it until they find a solution. $500,000 bonus for each player on the team that wins the tournament. They are moving back to not neutral site, but they're moving back to home of the better rank for next season. Do you there's still an incentive enough to make it to that tournament, or that 5-day hiatus of staying home and not having to prepare for anybody but just work on your things like the Cavs are doing is enough of an incentive to say, you know what, we'll go 3-1, but we'll skip the tournament?
You know what I think, Ralph? I think it's the teams that want to win and be great, their incentive will be to play. Mm-hmm. And I think we're seeing that with that OKC team because you have to find – the game within the game during the season to keep you motivated, and a team like that is using it. So I think some teams will figure out it's a time to rest, but I also think for a team like us that we want to continue to build that toughness, right? We want to continue to learn and show ourselves that we can fight through certain moments, and I think that's what we forget about what happens in a regular season when you got a back-to-back of 4 and 5 nights and you able to pull together as a team and win. Come to playoffs, that's where the confidence comes from. So I think we got to get into that mode. Like, I think we love the rest, but I think the games within the game and just developing that toughness throughout the season, to me, is what should be most important.
For the Cavs, Sam, the other day they had practice before going to Washington, and Kenny Atkinson has always been so open and so honest, straight up with the media, and you were a big part of it. They had a big session on film where they actually exposed everybody, and kind of like they weren't shy about the things that need to be worked on. And they also had a players meeting. Is that a good sign? Is that something, obviously, a sign that things are not going as well as they expected? Because I always say there's not one guy in that locker room that is not telling you that they are the ones that need to get better. It's not the coaching staff. They are the ones that need to start executing. But is that a good thing, you think?
Absolutely. Communication in any relationship is always great. The better you communicate and kind of open things up and accept all that. Obviously we know that this is a team full of quality guys, right? And I think that when they talk it out a little bit, it probably helps watching this film session, having that Cavs version of Judgment Day where they're calling you out one by one. I love it. I think those are all positives. The players seem to react positively to that. So it's still a tight-knit group. They just need to, and I know people say this, it's cliche, you need to get healthy, but you not only need to do that, but now they're all kind of learning new roles because your point guard's out, your center's out. They're just I think that this benefits them in the sense that, hey, we get another week to practice these shifted roles and figure it out. So, but, anytime you're communicating with people, that's a good sign.
Well, we're going to take a break in Full Court Cleveland, and when we come back, we'll continue with the Cavs headlines. I kind of disagree with whoever writes the heads here, the headlines. It's not Ryan, right?
It's not me.
He's just producing here. But I'll tell you what I think about it when we come back on Full Court Cleveland.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows, energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Full Court Cleveland from sunny, beautiful, blue sky, Cleveland, Ohio. It's Booby, Sam, and you. Why are you guys laughing, man?
Because it is beautiful in blue skies. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Beautiful, nice breeze.
Yeah.
40-mile-an-hour wind.
Whip me coming in here. Whip me. I almost got back in
Let's go to the part of the headlines that I agree with. With you, Sam. Jarrett Allen practice, and the Fro is set to return for the Cavs. He was back at practice on Tuesday. How much has the Cavs missed the Fro, and will his return help Evan Mobley? That's the kind of part of the question that I kind of obvious, right? But the Cavs are 9-6 with Jarrett on the court, 5-5 with no Fro.
Well, I'll make sure not to get my haircut either.
Super cut.
Right. I think it's important. Obviously, he's one of the most efficient big men in the NBA, right? You're talking about a guy who shoots 50-some% and gives you that extra shot blocking element and shot altering element next to Mobley. Yeah, I think that, we've heard over the years that these two guys, can they play together? Are they offsetting each other or whatever? I think it's vital that they not only have Allen and Mobley out there at the same time, but both, healthy and because Jarrett Allen plays so well off Darius Garland, so that just gives them another element that they've been missing because Garland's been in and out, Allen's been in and out. And I think that it's vital that those two are on the floor because they give them instant offense a lot of
But I think it affects not just Evan Mobley, but even Kenny Atkinson in his rotation because he's so used to going to get the M&M boys and Mitchell and Mobley, and then he goes and get Garland and Allen, and now he's like only one guy's coming out, and then somebody else is coming in. So it's just a whole rotation that gets all disturbed by the fact that the Cavs have not been whole, and Allen hasn't played since November 28th and has played one game since November 19th. But this is the part where I don't agree with Booby with what I'm giving here to speak. What they call it an easy stretch because there's no such thing as easy in the NBA. It's more of like a minefield what the Cavs are about to go into when they have the next 6 games in Washington with the game that was added for not making it to the tournament. at home with Charlotte, and then back-to-back home and away with Chicago. So they have Charlotte and New Orleans. So they have 2 with Chicago, 2 with Charlotte, Washington and New Orleans, all teams with losing record. The bad news, the Cavs were 9-0 to start the season against teams with losing records. They have lost the last 2 against teams with losing records. Is there such thing as this being a good thing for the Cavs because they're considered easy games?
I wouldn't say no, absolutely not. Because
right?
No, sir. There's no easy win in the league. I don't care what team you're playing against. Everybody has motivation to try to, especially against us. And I think we need to understand that. There's teams still that want to take us out. And so I just think that for us, we just have to get back to that mentality. Use this time for it to be about us, not who we playing against. Every night, go out there and dominate with the way we want to play. Get back to moving the ball, get back to getting into the paint, get back to getting threes off of our penetration. Like once all of those things start to come together, then we'll get to see our defense improve, now because shot selection affects how you get back. And then we mentioned adding the fro to the whole deal. Defensively is where you see the biggest improvement when he's out there on the floor because guards come in there and dribble right back out of the paint when they see the big dog down there. And then again, when you talk about rotations, when it's such a luxury to have the 2 7-footers because one is always on the floor.
One's always behind.
One is always in the paint. At some point, he's in the paint. And so, I think once we get our full cast of characters, this isn't just an opportunity for the guys to just get back into their flow, get back into their positions, and just start to get back to who we know them to be. But again, I want it to be this way. I want us to be working right now and learning. And I love the fact that we getting in the locker room and getting each other face a little bit. Those were some of my favorite members to be a part of.
You heard it from Booby. I'll translate it into plain English. If you want to give the Cavs a present for Christmas, just give them a fork so they can pick the fro. We need the fro back in it. But that being said, Sam, yes, there's not easy games. And yes, the Cavs have to work on their execution. But what do you think is the goal or should be the goal in this next 6 games when you have 11 of the 13 after that against teams with winning records?
Yeah, improve your sharpness. This is where you want to get sharp. These are the opportunities to, again, Booby's exactly right. This is the coach's biggest fear. Kenny Atkinson said that last year. When we get into a stretch where it's supposed to be easy, that's where the coach starts getting nervous because he's like, oh, boy,
That's when the coach has to do the job.
That's right. And so here, this stretch, look, we have not been great the past couple weeks. 4 or 5 they've lost. So use this to get back on your feet. I talked to an NBA scout a couple weeks ago, and he said, the Cavs are a little bit clunky right now, but he's like, you know what? Win 5 in a row in January. Nobody even remembers this, So if you can use this stretch to do something like that, great. But mostly you just want to improve on your sharpness.
They got a chance. They got 4 of the next 6 games at home. Washington to start will be beat by 30-something in the Cup game. The problem is that we have 2 against Chicago in 3 nights. With Chicago is a tricky team. Everybody always a losing record, but they have beaten teams with winning records, and they have beaten teams doing what they do right, which is just dirty the game, mess up the game, and do the thing.
Absolutely. Play hard. They play hard. They play together, and they get out there, and they feel like they can win games. They've beaten some of the top teams in the league. It's like you said, none of these games will be cakewalks. None of these games will be easy wins. It'll just be about us going into the game and not taking the game for granted. Going into the game and not expecting a win just because we're playing against a team that's a little lesser. Back to that mentality word. Let's get back to coming in, and I feel like how many games have we won this year by like double figures? Like have we
a ton last season or this year?
No, this year.
Oh, not many. No.
That's what I mean. So I mean, like, it's just not about just winning games or losing games. It's just about going into each and every single game with that system, knowing we're going to play the right way regardless of who the opponent is. So if we play 5 games against teams we should win, those next 11 to 13, we playing the same way because we've already developed.
And the key for the Cavs, I believe, continues to be what kind of production they're going to be getting from the bench. They have won, I think, just 7 battles in the 25 games that they have played, and they have some games where the starters have been dominating, Sam, It's
Yeah.
just because of all the injuries
Yeah.
and because of what we were talking about, rotations getting all turned
Yeah.
upside down, the production from the bench have not been where it should be or where it was last year.
Yeah, well, you just said it. So there's a lot of guys out, so guys have to, from the bench, move into the starting lineup. That impacts your bench production. You've had some bench guys out, obviously. You know, I mean, we don't talk much about Max Strus, but,
Yeah.
you know, he's a key part of what they're doing. Sam Merrill, key part of what they're doing. Those are two huge pieces at two very important
And then you
positions.
have Lonzo and Garland who don't play on back-to-back, so that
Right.
kind of
So-
keeps you from getting on rhythm.
And I think if the Cavs were like panicked about this situation, they'd be like, okay, we're going to play Garland and Lonzo every night.
Yeah.
They're not, you know, there's no sense of panic right now. But you're right, Raf. I mean, the bench scoring has not been ideal. They'll get there.
It cost us games and it cost us money. The Cavs have been fined twice, $100,000 and $250,000 for the way they have rested players. And before we go to break, I promised I was going to ask you, what do you get when Seven is feeling under the weather?
You're not giving me this time.
6, 7, yeah, do it, boy.
Everybody.
We'll be right back on Full Court Cleveland.
Where do you get this stuff?
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
All right, Bowie didn't want to answer, but hey, we'll continue with it. The show must go on.
Nah, you got me last week, not this week. No, sir.
We're
I
going to
picked
take a
things up
look
quick.
about what's coming up for the Cavs. We kind of mentioned it before we went to break about the 6 games in a row that the Cavs have against teams with a losing record, starting in the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C., this Friday when the Cavs face the 3-19 Wizards, a team that we beat by 33 points last month, Sam. Should this be a good get-right game for Cleveland? Going back to what Booby said, forget about the opponent.
Yeah.
This is the kind of game where the Cavs need to come out and execute whatever they've been working on for these last 4 days.
Absolutely, this is a get-right game. So is home against the Hornets. You know, I mean, you're talking about two teams that are 25 games in. They're already on life support. You know, I mean, these are good opportunities for you to not go out and, you know, play like you did against the Warriors, a depleted Warriors team in your own building. Sometimes those are good things. Those are wake-up calls right before you go into your break. You know, so this is an opportunity to go out. Like Booby said, you don't need to go out and blow them out or whatever, but just stick to your principles, start playing the right way on a consistent basis. I think they play the right way for 2 quarters.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to do it consistently. And maybe you'll have at least 80% of your squad there, you know. So I think that a full week, this is a game that you want to go out and say, you know what, let's we know who we are. Let's go out and start showing it.
Sunday, December 14th, we continue with the games that were added to the schedule for not making it to the quarters in the Emirates Cup. And the Charlotte Hornets coming to town with their 7-17 record at the time. It's a whole different team. We're going to have the Bowl, you know, with Lonzo and LaMelo.
Yep.
And also, this Hornets team have some pieces that are very attractive. Canupo and Miller. It's just, you know, young, fast kids that just like to play ball. But how close do you think the Hornets are getting out of the cellar and putting a good run together? Or how many pieces away are they?
I love the coach. He's come in and put his philosophy on those guys, and he doesn't let LaMelo just get out there and LaMelo.
Be LaMelo.
Yeah. He's the first guy I see kind of reel him in a little bit. So I think inside they still struggle with a piece there, you know, whether it's a big or a forward that can put them over the top. But when you talk about what you just said, the guards, Knipple, Ball, what's my guy, 24, I forget his name, but his shoulder's hurt right now.
There's Brandon Miller, maybe?
Brandon Miller, yeah. He's, I think, one of the guys that could take a huge step if he could ever stay healthy as far as one of the better scorers in our league.
And
so,
his game is NBA style.
yeah, and he killed at Alabama. So I just think that, those guys, they're young. They're learning the right way to play basketball. So I feel like they're a center away. But to the point of you saying them coming in here, I watched them still play hard every single night. And so we can't look at their record and expect to win because these guys are coming here to try to take one.
Especially, Sam, with the 2 games with the Bulls to finish the week. And, they're 9-14. They were in first place at the beginning of the season, right? But they have wins against the Pistons, the Magic, the Knicks, the Hawks, the Sixers, and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So how dangerous is this stretch of back-to-back games against a team home and away, first in Chicago, then we finish a week here at Rocket Arena, against a team that is very well coached and that can put points on the board. And I think that's one of the things that have been affecting the Cavs. And defensively, they haven't really been at their best, and sometimes the ball has refused to go in for them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Chicago. Obviously, a team that's kind of still feeling its way around was 5-0, and then I think they fell to 6-7. But I know for
Not
sure.
You too, Sam. Not you too.
I think they were like. Well, now as we sit here, they're like 9-14, so they've been 4-14 since that 5-0 start. I think Giddey being out for a little bit has impacted them, but they're a team that can score a bunch of points in a matter of moments. So, right now we don't. Other than the Thunder, you got to throw everybody's record out the window. Okay, the Thunder and the Wizards, you could take those records as real, but everybody else you kind of got to throw out.
Hey, speaking of promotions at arenas, I was thinking why they don't have I think the 76ers are going to have Kids Day, and they're going to change their name to 67. 67.
This is going to go on for days, Booby.
What's going on here?
Hey, quickly, what you take on Billy Donovan in Chicago?
He's another great coach. I was skeptical about him coming from the college level to the NBA level. If the guys will buy in, but I think he's done a great job. I don't think he's had the best rosters to be able to compete at this level, but I think the guys buy in and they respect him, and I think they give their all. I think the Bulls have been a good representation of the type of coach he is to start.
And KD likes him, so
well, that's what's coming up for the Cavs.
For sure. He hates that, but that's the win. He cannot take.
That's what the Cavs have coming up. What we have coming up is the power ranking on Full Court Cleveland. Welcome back, everybody, to Full Court Cleveland, and happy holidays. If you're tuning in today and you won't be with us next week or the rest of the year, Sam, Booby, yours truly, Rafa, Ryan on the other side of the lens, it's time for the power ranking on Full Court Cleveland. As always, brought to you by our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager and lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer, flavor beer. Find local retailers who sell Garage Beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com. And before I go to the rankings, I want to tell all millions of listeners across the U.S., the great state of Ohio, U.S., and the world, we're kind of running out of topics to power rank here on Full Court Cleveland. So this is the deal.
Thanks.
If you send us a ranking that we should do and we use it, you get a pair of Rafa seats for a Cavs game or a Monster game or a Charge game at Public Hall. We're going to have a big high school game coming up in January.
At Public Hall.
The class at I forget the name. Nice. I'll get you the details on the team. Yeah. But send us on Twitter, a Full Court Cleveland or a Big Play or El Alcalde Rafa, what should we be ranking here on Full Court Cleveland? And if we pick your ranking, Ryan will send you a pair of Rafa seats for a Cavs game. So today, speaking of running out of topics, we are going to power rank the worst franchises in the NBA. And I think this is kind of subjective because you could look at it worse in different ways.
Right.
I don't know if it's like right now or historically or whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
It's your ranking. Booby.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go. I got.
You can pick 6 or 7 if you want.
Here we go. Well, they coming into town. I got that Charlotte. That Charlotte crew. Yeah. You know, I I just can't remember the last time I saw him anywhere close.
You don't give them a break
Yeah.
because they've been like back and forth from
Yeah,
New
they got the
Orleans and
Bobcats
Charlotte.
and North. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
kind of where I kind of look at it. Like the new this regime where they are now. The playoffs haven't been. I haven't seen them in the playoffs for a while, and then I'm just trying to figure out like what they're doing with the roster. You say we looking for another piece, but I don't. They never seem to be looking for that piece. They seem to
They
be
never
staying.
get to the point of needing a piece.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's I probably would go them.
How about you, Sam?
I bet Booby was 6 or 7 the last time the Hornets made the playoff.
Yo, I'm about to leave. Am I
We're
good?
killing the
Six
joke
or
today,
seven-
man.
6
Yeah.
or 7 minutes, I'm out of here.
After this,
The over-under was 6-7 in
Oh,
mentions of
God.
6-7. So
I'm gonna go. Well, if we power rank, aren't we allowed like 6?
Yeah.
Like I always pick.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Maybe.
Number
You wanna
one's
hear.
got to me. He's
You've
got to
been
be
covering the NBAs before it was called the NBA.
right.
so
It
you
was
tell
called
us.
the NBL when I started. We're shooting set shots.
Retro Sam over there.
I would say right now, excuse me, to me, if you look at like the Washington Wizards have not hit 50 wins in a single season since 1979.
Wow.
So that's
They were the
what,
Bullets
40,
at the time.
46 years.
They were the Bullets.
They were the Bullets. It was the last time they went to the finals. So I think overall, now they had obviously the,
Yeah, I was
Agent
gonna say,
Zero
that team
years.
didn't win 50.
They went their best record during that stretch with Gilbert Arenas
That
and
was tough.
With
and
Michael, how many
Jameson
did
was
they win?
48 wins. So to me, and Michael Winger, of course, we know who's running the Wizards is a Cleveland guy. He used to work for the Cavs too, but he's actually a Cleveland native.
Ooh.
Michael Winger, their president
okay,
of
okay,
basketball
okay, uh-huh.
operations. So, you'd like to see them get a turnaround, but now I kind of look at them. I'm like, what's the plan here? I mean, it's one thing to say we're going to be bad, but I'm like, are you going to even be good when you try? And I don't know. I think they have some nice young players, but I'm like, I don't know that those are the players that you build around.
I always put the Clippers in this list
Yeah.
because of the historically
Yeah.
they had just not been able to draft well. They now have the money, but they haven't been able to spend the money the right way because they haven't really gotten anywhere. I don't know if it's because they got run into the generation of the Warriors and then Jokic and then whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I think the Clippers not being in the finals, it's something that it should be considered.
I just think the icing on the cake was just how they handled the CP situation, and even some of the stuff that was going around in ownership
Even before
over there.
that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's just a lot of the way they handled Blake Griffin when he left too. Like it's just so many things. So I think if I had to pick one, I might side with you on that one because
It's been a
CP was
long
my boy.
time, since
And
they've
think about
been,
all the players they have had.
yeah.
so many.
Paul George,
Paul George
Kawhi,
and Kawhi went there on their own.
Harden.
That's where they wanted to be.
That Kawhi deal it might go down in history as one of the toughest for an organization
the
because
least return on investment.
what do they do now? And then OKC literally won a championship from the deal.
Yes.
They
Right,
literally
right.
took the
And
deal
they
that
got-
you
they
gave
got it-
him. The guy turns into an MVP.
And it's not like Shea Gilgeous was a player like, oh my God.
And by the way, you
Clippers
guys
killed
stink
them.
and we get your lottery
You
pick.
get the lottery pick too. So literally,
Unprotected.
come on now.
Unprotected,
That's what I mean.
yes.
That might have to go down as like
Darren Peterson's
maybe
going to the Oklahoma City Thunder
worst
next
deal
year.
of all
for-
time.
That'll
be crazy.
Whoever the number
And
or
there's so many-
Boozer's kid.
Yeah.
I think there's so many other franchises that maybe like in small markets like New Orleans or other ones. But I think the ones that you expect from, like I told you, the Hornets, they kind of get a break from me for being like
Moving around so much.
moving around. And that kind of does affect the way you
Culture and
operate and
support.
then you think and the culture and everything. But
But the Pelicans.
yeah. So that's what I mean.
They
But
ever
New
gonna win
Orleans
a
is a small
title?
market. And
that's still a part of that same group. That
Yeah.
same,
Yeah.
it's
There
that
is-
they are
Charlotte, New Orleans.
eternally on the lottery, in the lottery, and they just cannot seem to put. Yeah, I know you have to have a little luck,
Sure. Yeah, you got to have
but
you got to have luck.
what better luck than land Zion Williamson
Yeah.
when they were supposed to be like 12 in that year's draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just hope Zion.
Do you
was-
see? Have you ever seen videos where like the number one team gets like drafted? for New Orleans, there were like 4 people in the conference room. So they weren't expecting to get anything.
I didn't, but yeah, that's it.
There were 4 people running around the conference room like, yeah, we got the number 1 pick.
Some of those
There
smaller
wasn't even a
market
draft
teams,
party or anything.
yeah, some of those smaller market teams, when it comes to stuff like that, they don't make a like. One year I went over to the Pacers and Larry Bird was holding a press conference. It literally was like me and 4 other people, and Bird sitting up here. He was sitting at like a little table. It wasn't even. I'm like, where'd they get that out of the elementary school? They put a little Pacers band on it. I'm like,
whenever Larry's going to speak, that place should be packed.
For sure.
Yeah. Well,
Come on.
I agree, but that's why I went, because I'm like, I got to get there early. Bird's talking.
As you can tell, we are running out of topics.
One-on-one.
So remember, send us your topics that you want us to rank, and Ryan will pick whoever the winner is, and we'll send you guys to Rocket Arena to watch a Cavs game. We are going to come back, and we are going to walk around the association on Full Court Cleveland. Welcome back, everybody, to Full Court Cleveland. Sam, Booby, yours truly, Rafa, Ryan on the other side of the glass, of the lens. And it is inevitable when you're going to go around the association to not touch the NBA Emirates Cup and give an update on what's going on there. 4 teams are left in the Cup. The Magic and the Knicks from the eastern side, and Thunder and Spurs. That would have been a great matchup if Wemby was, and that's just so much kudos to the Spurs that are actually continuing to play so well with Victor Wembanyama. But who is your bet to win it all? May I say, are you a gambler? You're going to go against Oklahoma?
I'm not a gambler, but I'm going to go with this huge shot.
Repeat.
The Thunder.
Thunder
got crushed last year against the Bucks in the Cup game. Championship, but I'll say this: the last 2 winners of the NBA Cup have both been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. I'm like, I don't know if I want to win that.
But then also the guys that got crushed to go to the finals have won the championship.
So who got crushed to win the?
But Indiana went to the finals first.
Yeah.
At least
Okay.
they went to the finals.
No, yeah, that's true. Both teams that are playing in the Cup are also going to the finals. Yeah.
Semifinals this Saturday, final on Tuesday. Orlando and Desmond Bain smoking and got 37 points.
Hey man, we
in 3 of his last 6 games.
Desmond Bain's rage baiting should be studied. The way the boy be just messing with people. Do y'all notice this? You saw he threw the ball at Anobi. Anobi was already
that
out of
was
bounds.
crazy, though.
But he does this all the time. You gotta look it up, bro. I don't know.
I can't believe he didn't get thrown out for that, though.
Man, this guy is a menace.
But I can't believe he didn't get thrown out for that. That's like a punch.
That's what I'm saying. It got to be studied. He do this all the time and get people technical fouls.
That's what happened when you play with Dylan Brooks for a year. You learn all that.
Yeah, for sure. But to get back to it, I probably the Knicks. I got to go. Mike Brown. Doing this thing. I think they're figuring it out over there, and in a beat up East. Like, I'm looking at them as,
quietly.
Quietly, doing that. I think they're like 13-1 at home or something like that. So we don't want to hear it, but Mike Brown's my guy. So I think that'll be a fun matchup to see OKC and New York get it on.
OKC,
that would be fun.
OKC barely made it against the Suns. They only beat them by 49.
Yeah, right. Had to scrape by
24-1, Sam.
Yeah.
Are they candidates to beat the Warriors 73-win season?
Without a doubt. I mean, you're already doing all this early in the season, and you're not even fully healthy. They were missing Jalen Williams for a while. They missed Chet Holmgren a little bit. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander missed a game with an illness. I just think they're so – not only do they have star power, but they're just so deep, And then you got the possibility of getting the Clippers – lottery pick next year. It's like, where are you going to put all
that nail, man?
The funny thing is, Topic, the guy they drafted last year, who hasn't played. All the scouts and everybody I've talked to thought this guy's amazing. You're gonna love. At worst he's like Giddey, Josh Giddey, and then you drafted Thomas Sorber, the 7-footer from Georgetown, who's out for this year. So you've got all these guys coming in.
And my question is, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I wasn't going anywhere.
No, the question for both of you is, there's going to come a time eventually where whoever is in charge of the salary cap in Oklahoma City is going to have to make some serious magic show, or at least having to pick what is it that they're going to choose to keep.
Yeah, I hear a lot about this second apron thing.
Yeah, I know, but winning titles,
I don't know what it is.
Winning titles get you contracts for the guys that are.
It does, but you got to think about this OKC team is not full of a ton of star guys.
Right.
And that's the thing that kind of gets you.
But it's coming soon. Like, they already gave a max to Shea Gilgeous.
This is true, but then think about it. Where else the rest of those guys are just playing at a very high level, and I understand that teams are gonna want them, but I just look at that team. I don't know. I don't think they have other superstars. Like, Jalen Williams is probably the next one in line. I think they pay him a good amount, good little chunk of change. And so from there, to your point, they're gonna come knocking. But
And then Dort's gonna need to get paid. And I'm not aware of what he has, but I'm saying those are big pieces.
Yeah.
Caruso, they don't win a title without Caruso, and somebody's gonna offer Caruso.
Yeah. Well, one GM told me with this new apron, keep your star guys in place as long as you're winning games like the Thunder. So that would mean Holmgren.
If you're winning.
Obviously, SGA, Holmgren, and Jalen Williams. And then, you keep those guys in place. And then if you lose a Caruso, you hope you can find replacement for him, or Hartenstein. You hope that you could find replacements for those guys. Not saying that they are a dime a dozen, but at the same time, you can find hustling, defensive, tough role players.
To your point, the one thing about them is whoever you put in the game.
AJ Mitchell. I'm like, who's this guy?
It be guys on the court I ain't never seen get on the floor, and they're 24-1 with those guys right now.
Yeah.
And there's always that group of veterans that just are willing to get paid the minimum just to get a chance to win a title.
They come at you on offense, and then they come right back at you on defense. It's a full onslaught.
And they come at you at the free throw line, too.
I was watching. Here he goes. I was watching that Phoenix game, and Phoenix could not catch a break because they was defensively stealing the ball, and then on offense they couldn't do anything to stop them from scoring. So that team is. I don't know what the NBA is gonna do with them. I hope the apron helps the NBA out.
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem like the teams are gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, we could have a dynasty.
I'm gonna give you guys some records here, and then you tell me which one is the biggest surprise in the NBA this season. Detroit, 1 seed in the East. Boston is currently 3rd. We talked about it here earlier in the show, earlier this season, about how don't count Boston out. They're a championship team. Yep. Toronto and Philadelphia are 5th and 6th. Milwaukee is only 10 and 15. OKC, we talked about. San Antonio is the 5th seed, but it's playing really well without Wemby. And the Clippers are 6 and 18 after winning 50 games last year. Out of all that, good or bad surprises, what stands out? Not counting the Thunder, because
I would say the Celtics probably. I didn't totally write them off, but I'm like, really, you're going to start Peyton Pritchard at point guard and expect to go places?
And it's working for you.
It's worked out for them. So, and they got Anthony Simons from the Blazers that I thought, you lost Porzingis, you lost Holiday, you lost Al Horford, you lost Jason Tatum. I'm like, that's your team.
Started.
Right. That's your team. And the fact that they're doing what they're doing is a credit to not only the guys, Coach Joe Mazzulla has them playing with confidence. To me, that's a big surprise that they're. Is it sustainable? I don't know, but
they really
right now,
come at you with guys that you really have to be a fan.
Yes.
To know that they're NBA players.
Right. You got to be a diehard.
Being honest.
For sure.
Yeah. Jordan. I'm like, Jordan Walsh, who's this guy? I cover the league. I never even heard of him. And then he's scoring 20,
Literally watch NBA play all day. I'm in the G League every other day. And a lot of these guys, I don't know where he found them.
I know. That's the amazing thing. I think that we talked about it earlier in the season, that this season will say a lot about Joe Mazzulla, because the year they won the championship, everybody could say, he inherited a team that had just lost the finals. right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, his
But what
talk,
he's
talk
doing,
about mentality.
they're actually
That
buying
guy,
buying everything he's selling.
That guy, when I hear those interviews, they tell me
Yeah.
something. You talk about mentality. You
Tough
ready-
dude, right?
He ready to work.
Yeah.
I see him play against the assistant. They played against the media. They was trying to get buckets out there on the media.
Yeah.
So he don't play all day.
Yeah.
And I like the culture that he's
Yeah,
built
Missoula
over there.
does a nice job.
Milwaukee,
Big
10
shout
and
out to him.
15. Is it how much of it has to do with the uncertainty about Giannis? How much of it has to do with they lost a big piece on Brook
Yeah.
Lopez in terms of their offense, and how much is just the fact that
Yeah,
Doc
no,
Rivers, since the moment he got in there, it's just been an upside down world.
yeah, he's never really had a team, a cast of players, and you take Damian Lillard off of the team, and you just kind of expect. And now Giannis is out. I just think that's why the speculation and the rumors started. Giannis kind of knew, like, you look around locker room, you can play as hard as you want to play, but just not
Put
go.
40, 50 now every night. Don't matter.
He's almost averaging a triple-double. It's not going to change a thing. And so I think it'll be interesting to see, what packages teams put together for him. But I think the big fella could and should be on the move for those guys. He's done everything he could do in Milwaukee. So hopefully they grant his wishes, and, that'll be fun to see for the NBA.
Best segment in the show coming up, getting off topics on Full Court Cleveland. Welcome back to Full Court Cleveland. Down the stretch we come on this, not really the holiday preview yet, but we're going to talk about holiday activities with Sam Amico, who went to actually missed a Cavs game so he could go to Public Hall and watch a Charge game, but he didn't go there so much for the Charge. He went there.
I went for the Charge.
Who was it?
My youngest son wanted to go see Meet Bluey.
Bluey.
Yeah.
Tell us about Bluey. What's up with
Well,
Bluey?
first of all, I didn't realize
Bluey's cool.
that show was on, obviously, in my home for years because I got 3 boys.
Is that
so
like
each one was-
Clues? Dude?
No, they're little. It's Australian cartoon
okay.
that's a little bit
Yeah.
geared for
Way
older
past mine.
kids. But I didn't realize Bluey
Was
was.
your son
I told
happy that
Ryan,
Bluey-
I didn't realize Bluey was a girl.
Did your son? Was your son? I'm liking your
So I
son a little
naturally
more now.
tried to pick him up.
Was your son
pick her
happy
up.
that he got to meet Bluey?
Very excited, yeah.
Okay.
And then the Charge. He came with me to Cavs game. You gave me tickets.
Oh.
And he came with me. And I mean, the next day, Donovan Mitchell. That's all I heard about.
Nice.
So he's just now getting to the age. My older boys are like 10 years older than him, but he's just now getting the age where he's starting to really get into sports. So
That's good.
yeah,
And then he likes sliding too, sledding or tobogganing,
He does-
whatever you
yeah.
call
I
it
put
now.
on Instagram where he's sliding down on the hill of snow face first. That's what he likes. But he was out there for like
Core
3 hours.
memories
I'm
right
like,
there.
dude, come on, I can't feel my face. How are you
There's
warm?
no such thing as getting cold at that age.
No.
man.
No,
How about you, Bobby? Shopping, Christmas shopping, holiday shopping done?
Man, I got some things brewing at Tri-C.
Okay.
I'm got some things brewing, trying to help out over there, tap in the JUCO system. So I'll be doing a lot of recruiting now.
Hey, I heard you did. You finally worked with my friends at Future Ink Graphics.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about it.
That's another thing. I'm tapping in with the community and the kids for the artistry, graphic design. So I had my event, and everybody was able to. They were able to
Print the
create
poster?
print the posters that the
awesome.
kids created. They
Yeah.
created my bear. It was a little. We call him Teddy B. It was a little bear version of me that the kids created.
How did
And
I
they
not
were-
get one
they
of
were
those?
able to graphic design it and pass it out, and I was able to sign it. And so
That's
that's
awesome.
That's a part of the programming that I'm trying to bring to Tri-C with the mentorship and helping the athletic program with the boys and the girls teams. So now I'll be able to do some recruiting, because what I saw about Tri-C is they offer so much from on the business side and the academic side, and I don't think the kids out here know that it's here and it's not that expensive to go. And I'll be able to offer some scholarships and be able to create some opportunities for the kids. So this holiday season will be a big recruiting season for me to let the kids know that, Tri-C it's a cool place to
I'm
go.
going to recruit
Sure.
some donations
That's cool.
right now. If you are looking to make a donation for the holidays, look out and look them up. Future Ink Graphics. They're at the
Yes.
People Center on
Yes.
25th in the Clark Fulton area. They are doing an amazing job with promoting the arts with children. So Booby has been working with them. The Cavs and myself have been working with them. Sam, we're gonna get you to the People's Center to meet our friends at Future Ink Graphics.
I'm gonna get you a Booby
until
bag.
next
There we
week,
go.
we're gonna see what we can do for you here
I'm
on
I'm gone.
Full Court Cleveland. Don't leave,
Booby's
Booby.
out. Booby's
Don't
done.
leave,
Doesn't want to
Booby.
see another second.